Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photo chats. So today I want to talk about an ugly camera. Do you recognize this? This beast? This is a Nikon F100. Here's the ugly part. A whole bunch of it is missing. You can see the batteries inside that little space. This was a beater. It was at the local flea market. $5. He said 10. I said, how about 5? He's like, yeah, get it out of here. I put a lens on it. Autofocus works. Works perfectly. Works fine. I'm going to gift it to somebody in one of my photo groups who doesn't mind having a camera that doesn't have quite the right grip. A little bit of black gaffer tape will cover that pretty nicely. Because right now it's kind of a whole bunch of like glue residue and it's just ugly. But who cares? Cameras are made to be used. And it's actually quite comfortable still. A little bit of tape will fix that up. I didn't put the tape on yet because I figured I would wait till I showed it to you. But there's a Nikon F100 for $5. That's a positively super camera. I don't know if I've talked recently about an F100, but it's like probably the simplest, most digital-like video camera or most digital-like still camera for film that feels just like the D750s, D850s. It has the same back button focus. It has the same kind of a build as their digital cameras. In fact, if you're carrying this in the street, most people will assume you're shooting digital, but you're not. But would you shoot a $5 Nikon F100 if it was missing pieces? I say make photographs. I have a friend who would like to have some kind of a automatic program or aperture priority Nikon instead of just an F2. He's the one that I'm thinking will really turn to this, and it makes for a very great walk around camera. And it makes for a pretty good story. You know, whatever its problems are, it's a working camera. It was in a box. It was in a box with like a Nikon N66, which is junky plastic. It was in with some other junky Minolta lenses, which are worthless. And then this. And this was probably the one the guy was like, you're interested in that thing? Have you seen it? Have you looked at it? And I'm like, yeah. And I named my own price, and he was glad to get it out of there. And I'm glad to get it too. And when I find bargains like that, I love to either make them work, use them, or get them into other people's hands and get them working. Those cameras, I remember I bought an F2 years ago for next to nothing because it was missing a shutter release or something on the motor drive, and they said it didn't work. I'm like, an F2 always works. I had no way of knowing if this worked until I got it home and put batteries in it, but I suspected it would. And it does. And the display is completely good. Everything is working on it. It just works. These cameras just don't stop working. So if you find a deal, it wasn't the kind of a place that I was going to be able to go get batteries and test it. But those deals are out there. Sometimes they're ugly, but they're still capable and they make for a good deal. All right, that's today's photography talk. Hey, if you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. What's your ugliest camera? Send it information in the show notes. Give it a comment. I'll be back next week. We'll talk more photography. As always, here's the good light.